Hello everyone, this is Kiran Edupuganti from Rewire uh, by Automation YouTube channel. This is my column. A page talks about. I'm starting a build playlist in continuation to the setup playlist, which I have published uh, last week. And I'm going to publish the video sessions in detail about Appium Server. Okay, to begin with, so if you have not gone through my setup playlist, which is part of my program, I call it as a first phase is base, where it primarily focus on environment readiness, and then it will give a checks to ensure that the given environment is set ready for the further automation. Okay, and then the next phase is I'm going to cover part of this playlist, which is let's implement. I named it, which covers more in detail about 2.x Appium Server, Appium Inspector, and I'll give a client the programs which are generally tend to be atypical and change across the years. So I'm going to cover a few out of that one, so that it will give hands-on for the practice for anyone. And then implementation part will cover the few methods which are very key in the Appium automation for the any Android or iOS app automation. And then finally, once I settle on the base and build, then slowly I'll release the augment as well. So here is a separate page where I'll talk about development of the plugins and drivers. That is in the third phase. It may take some time, but I wanted to see how these two the playlist is reached to the audience. Okay, and so before getting into the implement the playlist, I just wanted to show, if you have not gone through my setup playlist. Okay, I'm just clicking on here setup playlist. I have given the link over here. And if you click on that one, it will navigate to the playlist in the YouTube video. It is publicly in public. It is available. Given a short description and including the effects needed for this particular playlist, and it comprises of around 10 sessions, which includes intro, what I'm thinking about this my channel, and what it is going to be, what kind of topics it is going to cover in future, and followed by the program about the Appium, because it has its own capabilities added recently, and it is going to be a game changer for the apps automation. So keeping that in mind, I have designed this program and released this particular playlist. And at the same time, recently I have launched a blog from the Medium platform, and which talks about this particular playlist. I've given a brief or description of each topic that I'm going to cover, so that it will display in the it will point to the specific session as well. If you click on here, it will navigate to the Medium blog. This is recently I have created. I joined into this particular platform and started blogging. And hopefully, after this Appium, I'm going to publish few other the topics related to the automation or IT side, or how a entry person can grow as a automation, and how he can build the automation career going forward, how he can adopt new technologies while he is on the ground. So those kind of topics, based on my experience, my 2 decades of experience, I'm going to publish short sessions in the YouTube, and subsequently I will tag the blog over here. So here I have mentioned, I have given the how it is started this journey, the Appium, and I have given the brief intro about this particular Kickstarter toolkit, and explain the key slides in the guide, so that you can connect with the particular the session and understand what I'm going to cover. And I have given the slide table of content over here, and followed by the the setup, what I'm going to cover, and what is my vision to have and write, and followed by the specific the sessions it includes, and how we can make the automation readiness. So as a layman steps I have given over here. Whoever is having the basic knowledge in the automation, they can they can go through this particular guide and understand how it is going to start. And so far, whoever is moving from the functional to automation, this is going to be a good start, and it will give the a basic insight on the mobile apps automation side. And in this playlist, I'm not going to cover any kind of basics for the apps testing or apps automation. Only I focused on the how Appium 2.x is going to be a change in future quarters, and what are the new features it has right now, and how those features are going to be a game changer in the apps automation. So based on my experience, based on my research on this particular technology in the open source forum, so this has real capabilities, and it has clear path to change in its technologies. So that's the reason I picked up this one and put my thoughts over here. So if you like it, you can go through, and you can make it a the practice, and make your system is ready. So you can play like as you do web automation in your system. Okay, you don't need to depend on any kind of mobile clouds solutions. So you can configure emulators, and you can bring up demo apps, and you can start scripting. Okay, so it has covered the all the basic stuff the needed for the setup, and I have given the resources as well. Each resource is tagged to the GitHub, where I have published the demo apps, and I have taken from the open source forum and one of the mobile cloud solution. So you can take, and you can do the practice as well. Okay, so this is about the ads setup playlist, which I have tagged my videos over here and given the short description. If you like it, you can follow in the my YouTube channel at Rewire by Automation, and this is my blog, Rewire by Automation for Medium, and you can follow me. You can get my updates. Okay, so now let's switch over to the second program that I'm talking about, the build, where it talks about the Appium Server and inspector and client and implementation. So with this one, everyone can easily start their practice, and they can reach the more than expectation, and they can gain the good experience, and they can handle corporate assignments easily by having a a sound practice, and a sound understanding on the concepts. Okay, so let's move forward. I'll in this session I'm going to explain what I'm going to cover. So what it includes, so that that will be followed in the subsequent sessions. Okay. So before getting into that one, so this is the table of content that I have covered in the it's set up by playlist. So as a prerequisite, we should have Node.js and Android environment, and then Appium ecosystem configuration, followed by the how we can kickstart the automation. We need to make ensure that one whatever the setup we have done is appropriate and is recognized by the client script or not, and corresponding Appium inspector is able to identify the app or not, and the server is responding to the given commands by the client script or not. These are the basic checks that we need to ensure so that we can easily go ahead with the further automation. Okay, so this is about the setup. If you have not gone through, just please go through the playlist and get ready your systems so that you can easily understand at implement playlist. Okay, so this is the one I named it as a Kickstarter toolkit so that you can easily start and you can easily adapt to that particular environment, and you can easily learn and make yourself quickly expertise within 1 week of time, so that you should be in a position to handle the challenges in this particular apps application. Okay, so this is my attempt to make the system as a very simple, so that we don't need to dive entire documentation of this Appium. You can go through these few slides and get hands on. Okay, so that's all from my rewire. So I call it as a a fuel bed decode. So whenever I'm getting into any technology, first I try to myself as a decode so that I can able to understand first concepts and followed by the its components, and then connect each other and then make it as a practice. That's how I do for any technology. Okay, so similarly, when I started 6 years back, I did a research on this particular technology, and I came up my own study and started the POCs, and then you know deployed to the continuous engagements, and then that's how I got experience on this particular technology, and then same kind of mode of learning and exercise broadly expanded to other technologies, other tools and technologies as well. Okay, so let's move forward. So this particular at implement playlist is going to cover, these are the four chapters. So the chapter one, which mainly focus on the server, and then extension. Here, just to try to understand what I'm saying is Appium Server I'm going to, and then extension means it's a driver or plugin. Okay, there is a set of commands that is given by the author and the developers of Appium. So there are the few commands that are related to the server. There are few commands that are related to the extension, which we call it as a driver and plugin. Okay, how to install and how to uninstall, those kind of things they have given, and the management is driver and plugin. Okay, so how we once you install, frequently it may not be a possible for frequently, but periodically you need to check and understand what are the updates is available in this particular release documentation. Based on that one, you can take the decision and you can keep maintain drivers and plugins based on your requirement. And then chapter 2, I'm going to cover more in detail about Appium Inspector and what is its interface and how the sessions are established and what are the capabilities are required and how it is being identified the target app and what are the drivers that we need it for the Android automation. So those things I'm going to cover in this chapter 2 mainly. So for example, in the Selenium web automation, you might have Selenium IDE as a, you can identify the properties of the particular element, right? Or else some third party extensions are available in the Chrome. Those also so with the help of those, we are going to, you know inspect the elements and understand what are the properties and values, and how we can build a selector mechanism. Okay, similar kind of thing, that we need to have a one mechanism where it should diagnose that particular screen and expose those elements, so that we should be in a position to build the selector mechanism. Otherwise, it is very difficult. So this, whoever is developed this Appium, the same team has them provided Appium inspector, so that it can be easily to identify the elements of the app screens. So it has been used by the all the uh, mobile cloud solutions, so that so whatever the learning that you are doing over here, it is going to be a useful once you assign to the any of the corporate assignments for the mobile cloud solutions. So the base engine is same for all the solutions, but the way how you are interacting with the device, that is the only difference. Okay, in the corporate environments, many of the clients, they are using the mobile cloud solutions because the requirement is wider. So based on that one, you cannot connect all the physical devices for each system, right? So if you mount your physical device on the cloud, it will be useful across the globe. Okay, that is the advantage of the cloud solution. But when coming to the apps automation, the technology they are using is open source technology. They are using it Appium. Okay, the core engine they are using is Appium. Okay, so the moment when you learn, when you aware the concepts of the Appium, this learning definitely is going to be useful when you are working on the any kind of mobile cloud solutions. Okay, so the next part is selectors. In this chapter 3, Android strategies, I'm going to cover in detail. And iOS strategies, currently I do not have any kind of environment to give demo on the iOS side. Definitely in future, if I have flexibility, I'm going to cover those setup and subsequent implementation as well. So for now, I'll just give the overview on the what are the strategies that we are going to use it in the iOS side. See, based on my experience, if you are experienced on the Android automation side, and you can easily do iOS automation, there is no difference at all. The difference is how the elements, the type of the elements are different. Okay, if you are connecting on the Mac system, there are different components that you need to configure. That is the only difference. But when you're working on the cloud solutions, only you need to connect to the specific device, but the methods are underlying methods are almost same, but the selector mechanisms are different. That you need to understand. That is the only difference between the Android and iOS automation side. Okay, so define and execute strategies on inspector. Once you are ready with the strategies, how we can execute the statement before I apply that particular statement into the script. So that first we need to ensure whether that is being identified by the inspector or not, whether it being performing the actions on the mobile apps element or not. First we need to ensure that, then only we can able to put in the code. So how we can do it, that I'm going to cover in this one. And then finally, implementation part, where this I'm going to cover few basic operations, so that whoever is new to this program, this technology, they can easily understand how the automation can be done. And then there are a few, there are common operations across all the apps that, as on today, that we are doing this scroll, okay, swipe. These are the things that's common, but based on my observation, there is a changes over the years on these methods. So that's why I brought those methods here, which I'm going to cover the part of the scrollable and mobile gestures. That is the one thing. And the web context is the key. That is hybrid app. Sometimes in a few apps, uh, you know between the screens or your workflow, there may be the screens which is a combination of the web and native app. So here, web context, which talks about the a web content embedded on the native container. That's that's we call it as a hybrid. Okay, if any app has any of the such screen, so Appium is providing a mechanism to switch over to the web content and identify the element and perform the operations in back. So that kind of operation that I'm going to walk through in this chapter. And there are few the platform specific extensions that Appium 2.x server is providing that I'm going to cover, which are useful in day-to-day automation. Okay, so that's all, team. That's all, everyone. From this app implement table of content session, and thanks for watching this session. I'll catch you in the next session. Thank you. Bye.